everyone. Thank you so much for joining us with Alexis University. For this success series, I sat down and talked to 14 different millennials about their success.
My name is Yakub Dosunmu. You call me Kube. Everybody calls me Kube. And I'm getting my master's in business administration with concentration in management.
Okay. And so what did you go to school for in undergrad? And did you ever change your major, or did you already know what you wanted to do?
Okay, so when I started college, my freshman year, I was getting a dual major in sports management, and in I was getting my BA, my bachelor's in management and business administration as well. And when I transferred my junior year, my sports management major would not all of the credits didn't transfer, and they were trying to make me do an extra year to get my major in sports management. And I wanted to graduate on time, so I dropped my sports management and I just kept the management one. So I got my undergrad. I got my degree in business administration with a concentration in management again.
Okay, so did you start at a community college and then transfer into a four-year university?
No, I started at a four-year university. It was called Ohio Christian.
Gotcha.
I was there for basketball on scholarship, so I started there, and then I transferred to come closer to home to University of Illinois Springfield.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you feel like if you would have wanted to keep your major like the same, would you have been behind? Because you said you wanted to graduate on time. So like, what made you just decide like, I don't want to take that extra year?
Cost, and like I told myself going into college I was going to be done in 4 years, like that was mandatory, and it was just an unfortunate event that the credit couldn't transfer. I didn't do anything wrong but change schools. So my counsel was like, in order for you to walk the stage on time, you would have to either take an extra semester just for one class, and that would have just been for my sports management, and I couldn't get the minor in it either because I would have to do a semester in it regardless. So it came down to it being the class was only offered in the in the fall, and I was to graduate in the spring. So I would have, that's the only reason why it just wasn't offered in a semester. So I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Like, that's dead.
Yeah.
What's something you wish you knew before you went to college?
Something I wish that I knew before, definitely summer classes. I was just talking about how I want to be done in 4 years. I know I have a lot of friends who finish in 3 years, and if I could have done that, I definitely would have, because to me, it's like, okay, after your first year, second year, you have a little fun. After that, it's just about business. You're trying to get in, you're trying to get out. Right. So had I known that, I would have been taking classes in the summer, my freshman year, and I would have finished in 3 years instead of 4 years, definitely.
Okay.
And and I would have been more focused on getting a good internship my sophomore year, because I see a lot of careers now. They stem from the internship your sophomore year, the summer of your sophomore year going into your junior year. So if I would have locked in on that, I think I would have done that. If I would have known to do that and coming out, I would have done that definitely. I would have did that definitely as well.
So you talked about the fact that you went to school on a sports scholarship. Did you plan on staying at that school to try to go pro, or were you like, I'm just here because they offer me money and I know what I want to do with my career?
I mean, definitely athletics. I mean, the ultimate goal is to go to school for the least amount of money as possible. So
right.
They need the most money, so that was a no-brainer. But of course, everybody has dreams of, that's my dream still to this day. I still want to play professional. So regardless of where I'm at right now, that's where I want to be. But of course, yeah, I went into it with the mindset of going pro. I honestly, after the first year, I knew that I wouldn't graduate from that school. I knew that for a fact after the first year. But it was a good experience for me, I have to admit.
What lessons do you think that you learned while you was in college?
To be resourceful, for one. That's probably the most important lesson, because whether you like it or not, it's going to be some days where there's nothing in the refrigerator or you ain't got no money in your bank account. So you got to let things last the longest. That's one thing that I learned a lot in college and time management. A lot. What separates college is nothing but learning how to finesse. Like if you learn how to finesse your schedule, you'll be all right. It's you just gotta learn how to manage your time, man. And that's what a lot of people don't. That's what a lot of people. I won't say can't do it. They just don't buy into it. So definitely that time management and just learning how to just finesse your schedule.
And so you talked about the fact that like now you're in grad school. Do you feel like undergrad helped you prepare for grad school, or do you think that you could have been more prepared going in?
I would definitely say undergrad prepared me for graduate school because right now, I mean, I'm in my first semester at grad school, so it's really just like a recap of undergrad. A lot of I'm doing business. I did business in undergrad, so that helped a lot because a lot of the things that we talking about, I've been talking about for 4 years. So I already have, a good take on the topics that we're going over. So, and some classes, in some instances, I'm ahead. I'm ahead of other people because a lot of other graduate students, they've been working for a while and they've been out of school for a while, so they only know the real world experiences. But that's what separates me from them. They have real world experience, and I just have, I'm fresh out of undergrad, so that's, it's that's just how it is.
Do you feel like you're using your classmates as a resource since they have real world experience? I mean, I know with Corona, you can't really do as much as you probably want to, but do you feel like they're at an advantage or disadvantage from you?
I would the route that I want to go. I wouldn't say that they're at an advantage than me because everybody has a different path. Everybody, they want to go this way. I want to go this way. So I wouldn't say that they have an advantage over me at all. I wouldn't say that because right now we're just doing cases. So this is not real world. No matter how much the professor tries to relate a case to real world, it just won't happen. So
Right.
I think it's an even platform.
If you could go back and change anything about undergrad, what would you change and why would you change it?
If I could change anything about undergrad, I don't know. That's pertaining to what though? Like, what do you mean by undergrad?
Whatever,
Like
whatever
the
you
whole
think, like the school, the major, anything like what is something like, because I know for me, I wish now that I've been doing these, I wish I would have went to a HBCU. So like anything you could think of, like what's,
Oh, me personally?
yeah,
Okay, me personally, yeah, I probably would have. I was pretty. I was pretty. I was pretty focused on books and basketball. I didn't really have a lot of time to have a lot of fun. And I went to a Christian school my first 2 years, so it's not like I got to party or do things of that nature. To have a little fun, do the things that you're supposed to do in college because I was so focused on basketball and school. So probably that I didn't. I never did anything as like go to a HBCU or any spring breaks, anything of that nature. I didn't have a lot of fun. I mean, I was pretty uptight, if I have to admit.
okay.
That's probably the only thing because this is the college is some people say it's the best time of your life, man. You never get this chance. You never get this to do these experience, get this experience again. So probably that's what I would say. But in the end, it is what it is. I don't regret anything.
Okay. Did anybody have an influence on you going to college, or was it always just like natural progression, high school, then college? Because I know I want to do something specific with my life.
I wouldn't say that anybody had a influence of me. No, I would say somebody had an influence, but like you said, it was natural progression. But going to college and finishing college, yeah, I would say somebody had an influence. Like in my household, I wanted to. That's just something that I wanted to do. I look up to my grandfather. He was a college grad, and so my parents just pushed me, to keep excelling. So that's what I did. I kept going, and I'm still going. So my parents, my support system, my sisters, my whole family. I had a great support system that just kept pushing me when I needed the extra boost. So I had to give it to them.
So right now, like we've said before, you're in grad school. How long is your program? And then like, what do you think is next for you after grad school? Are you going to go straight into work? Have you even thought about what type of job you want? Like, what's next after grad school?
So my program is a year. It's a 1-year program. So I can either finish up in the summer of 2021, or I'm gonna see if I can finish in the spring, because I'm trying to get in and get out. That's my mindset: get in and get out. So it's either or. And as far as postgraduate school, I do plan on getting a job in the business field. Now the logistics I don't have figured out yet, but I'm working on it. So
Okay.
yeah, I definitely plan on starting to get my feet wet.
Okay. And so now, do you have time to do internships, or did you do all those internships in undergrad?
So I did an internship in undergrad. It was a graduation requirement. It was centered towards sports management. It was a great experience. I got to work with a sports agent, and it was a phenomenal experience, I have to admit. But if I can do another internship post grad, I will, to some companies that are of my interest. But I don't think I can actually. But I'll if I can, I definitely will. I'll have to look into that.
What advice do you have for students who are considering doing an internship? What are some of the things that you think that they should look out for when trying to apply to these different internships?
Definitely do your research and do an internship on something that is of your interest, or something that you see yourself doing, like, and aim for the stars. Like, you will be surprised at where you can go, even if you just try, or you put yourself out there. So my advice would be to try to do an internship with a company or a job that you do see yourself that you could see yourself working for, or doing something of that nature. Just if you want to be a manager, doing an internship with a manager or under a manager is great to go on your resume. So do something of your interest, and something that you see yourself doing in the future. That would be my advice.
At any point in college, do you ever feel like you just wanted to give up? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Yeah, that's gonna happen without a doubt. Like I said, you have so much freedom in college. It's like I said, it's the push. Like, okay, I got this 8:00 class. I just got out of practice yesterday. We left at 12. I got some extra shots up. I'm tired. I got 8 a.m. Am I gonna get up? My alarm go off. I hit the snooze. But like those are the things that's gonna happen, and that's what separates the people who want. You have to buy into it. So of course I had many days like that when I'm just like, man, I got this essay due at 12 a.m. and I ain't even started, and it's 8:00. Like, yeah, that stuff happened all the time, but you're gonna have a lot of obstacles in your life, and you're gonna have to overcome them. So it's just preparation for success.
What advice would you give to students who are entering college, students who are in college, and students who are like at the finish line now?
Okay, students entering college, I would advise you to just go to class. Like, you will pass your class just by going. If you don't go, you already setting yourself up for failure. So just go to class. That's my advice to people entering college. You enter college and you do your work. Whether it's mediocre or not, you get your work done in the beginning stages, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. And you said for people in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, in the middle, so like, sophomore year, if you do plan on going graduate school, a lot of these graduate programs only look at your last 2 years. So don't think that, that you can't take your foot off the gas. You got to keep going and finish strong. That would be my advice to those in the middle. And then those on the finish line, start thinking about your future. Like, after college, it's the time going to keep ticking. So, have a plan, write your goals down, write them down physically, and put them away. So you can look back at them. You can have something to reference when in 10 years down the line, and see if you achieved your goals. So that would be my advice to those on the finish line. Just get ready that you about to go in the game now. Like, the clock gonna start ticking. You know, the clock time don't stop for nobody. So definitely that.
Okay, and then something I wanted to ask about grad school. What helped you determine which grad school you were going to go to?
What helped me determine? Initially, I was going to play basketball. I was looking at a lot of different programs, but I ended up choosing Geese because it's one of the best programs in the nation. So it was just convenient for me. It was close to home. I didn't want to go too far with COVID and things of that nature. So I'm close to home. If anything was to happen, the pandemic going on, I don't want to be too far. So Geese was the ideal solution for me, and that's why I ultimately chose to come here.
Okay, and where is that located? What school is that at?
It's University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, but their business program is called Geese School of Business. So that's why I'm attending.
Okay. And any last words of wisdom you want to give to students who probably are watching this?
Any words of wisdom would be keep going. That's all I would say. Keep going. You could be whatever you want to be if you just put your mind to it. Just keep going. And it's not about where you at right now, but where you inspire to be.
Oh, I like that. It's not about where you at right now. It's about where you inspired to be. I'm gonna have to write that down. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Alexis University. We are glad that you were able to take time out of your college schedule, your grad school schedule, because some of us have been there and we know what that's like to have to make time for other things. So we really appreciate you being with us today.
No problem. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Alexis University. Make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can hear about the latest videos.